All right, English classes, I am now going to go over and discuss with you chapters 20 through 27 extremely fast, so pay attention. How does Raymond defend, or Mr. Adolphus Raymond defend his deliberate appearance of drunkenness? He basically uses his fake drunkenness to give people a reason for the way he lives. He has several children with a black woman. He comes from rich white class. People are like, what is he doing? It's just like a social no-no. He pretends to be drunk basically just to give them a reason for the way he lives, even though it's actually just Coca-Cola in the bottle. In a paragraph, paraphrase Atticus's summation or closing speech. I'm looking for basically it was very factual. He was relying on evidence because in his mind things are black and white. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen. And so he's really trying to push the facts because he knows that socially they've already made their guilty plea. Chapter 21, how does Scout know about the verdict before she hears it? None of the jury look at Tom when they walk back into the courtroom. Why do the Negroes stand when Atticus leaves the courtroom? To show respect. They're thankful for what he did, even though he didn't win. He still took a step in the right direction. Chapter 22, after Jim expresses disillusionment over the trial and the verdict, Miss Monty defends the town and its people. Paraphrase what she says to Jim. All right, basically she says, our town wasn't ready for it. What did you expect? And disillusionment meaning he's confused. He doesn't understand how facts are facts. Why didn't people understand and agree with his dad? Miss Monty says, they might have, but we just weren't ready. Maycomb wasn't ready for that yet. All right, chapter 23. How does Atticus react to Bob Ewell's threat? Bob Ewell spits at him and kind of says, I'm coming after you. And all Atticus says goes, ugh, I wish he didn't chew tobacco. He doesn't react. He ignores it, basically. All right, show the difference between Atticus and Aunt Alexandra's attitude toward the Ewells. Aunt Alexandra thinks they're a threat. Atticus doesn't. Why can't Jem accept Scout's opinion that there are just one kind of folks? This shows how young Scout really still is. She's so naive, and Jem is really growing away from her in that maturity sense, but he goes so far as to list 4 types of tiers of people, like level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actually 4 types of people, and he even names off people that would fit in those tiers. And if you plan on doing this socioeconomical prejudices paper, this would be a really good example. So circle number 8, you can come back to it and give a page number. Chapter 24, what unfortunate characteristics do the ladies of the missionary circle display? Do you think it's typical? Why? Now the second part is opinion, so we can talk about that later. But the unfortunate characteristics is they gossip and they talk about issues, but they don't do anything about them. All right. Discuss the irony of Miss Merriweather's admiration. She appreciates J. Grimes Everett and her attitude toward the trial. Okay, so the irony is that she's like, oh, J. he's a missionary and he does such great things for these poor people who don't know Jesus, and they're so lucky to have him and bring him out of hate. But she wants to put the blacks in their place in Maycomb. No one's helping them. That's why it's ironic, because she'll see another country with natives needing help, and that's a saint, whereas she could help the people in her town, but she doesn't because they need to be put in their place. That's the irony there. In this chapter, Scout learns something about being a true lady. Explain. She thinks that all women live in faint fear of men and that they gossip. Those are the 2 main things I'm looking for. Chapter 25. How does most of the town react to Tom's death? They talk about it for 2 days, and that's it. It's old news. In what way is Mr. Underwood's editorial in the Maycomb Tribune similar to Atticus's advice to Jem and Scout when they got their guns? Okay, for those of you who don't know, Tom was shot several times trying to escape, or at least that's the story we have. That's a story said by Hecate. And basically, Mr. Underwood's editorial says that he was innocent and he was a cripple. Why would you need to shoot a cripple that many times? He was harmless, much like a mockingbird. You don't need to hurt things that are harmless. All right, and that was the same advice that Atticus gave to the kids when they got their guns. Do not shoot a mockingbird. 2 more chapters, 30 seconds. Here we go. Scout is growing up. Give an example that shows the change in her feelings. She's not scared to walk by the Boo Radley house anymore, and she appreciates and is proud of what her dad did in the trial. Lastly, your last part of the day today, I want you to get in groups. I don't care how many. I don't care if it's best friend, 2 friends, whatever it is, but make a rubric for how you think you should be graded for your final blog/digital portfolio. Make sure you include all the essays we do, blog posts, visual appeal, things of that nature. So think about that and create that. We're going to present those to me on Friday.